In this video, we're talking about fear. For some of us, including myself, fear can play a big role when it comes to learning Spanish. Being afraid to speak and use what we know can really hold us back when it comes to improving. So why are we so afraid when it comes to using our Spanish? I think in our native language, we're used to being able to say whatever we want. We can express ourselves with confidence in an effortless and intelligent way. When it comes to Spanish though, it's a different story. We're vulnerable. It's hard to be confident when you're struggling to figure out how to say what it is you're wanting to say in the first place. But if we want to get good at Spanish, we're not going to see the results we want sitting around learning about it and never putting anything into actual practice. So with that, I want to share some of my mess ups I've made here in Colombia while using my Spanish. These are just little things that really don't have much of a story to them, unlike the other videos I made where I talked about trying to buy bread at the bakery or getting red velvet cake, or better said, red velvet cake. If you want to watch those videos, there's a link in the description. In those videos, I tell you these stories in Spanish. This video, however, is just going to be in English. I pulled all these mistakes from my Spanish journal. Basically, what I do is when I learn a new word or phrase that has a story to it, which is normally a awkward moment or a embarrassing situation that I get myself in, I'll write down the new word or phrase along with the story about how I learned it. So it kind of helps me remember it. It's also fun to go back and look at this stuff later. All right, let's get to the stories. Our first story happened while I was on the street with Maya waiting outside a shop while Maria was inside buying something. A kid walks up to me and says, "¿Qué raza es?" He was wanting to know what breed Maya was. I told him, "Ella es una perra callejera." He looked at me super confused, then just walked away. I found out later from Maria that what I was saying wasn't wrong, but callejera is normally used for animals that are abandoned in the street, and it was better to say criolla because it means mixed breed. The next one is how I learned the word propina. This happened my first time using one of those food delivery apps. Not long after I placed my order, it started raining really hard. I could see on my phone that the guy had picked up my order but had stopped to wait out the rain. He ended up arriving an hour and a half later than the app said he would. He was on a bicycle and I felt bad for the guy, so I wanted to thank him and tell him I was going to give him a tip in the app. So I go to start telling the guy this and forgot the word for tip. Have you all ever had this happen to you where you just forget how to say something or forget a word in Spanish? It's super annoying. Anyway, I'm there doing the so then I just decide to make up a word for tip and said, "Voy a darte un tipo." He gave me one of those looks that you dread getting and makes you feel like an idiot. Tipo, for those who don't know, means some guy. So I basically said, "I'm going to give you some guy." After that awkward moment, I went a different way and said, "Más dinero para ti en la aplicación. Muchas gracias." He understood and I quickly walked away with my tail between my legs. The next word I learned is Colombian slang, billetes. I've been trying to learn Colombian slang here and there. Someone I was hanging out with was using a slang word for money. They called it billetes, which is a common last name, but also sounds similar to the word billetes, which is the actual word for bills. So I thought I would be cool and impress Maria one day with my new Colombian slang. You can probably guess how this went. It did not go according to plan. I asked her, "¿Tienes bigotes?" Yeah. She looked at me really confused and said, "Sí, tengo uno, pero no pensé que ibas a notarlo." At that point I realized I asked Maria if she had any mustaches. Yeah, yep, that happened. The next one I learned on the street with Maya again, waiting for Maria outside a store. A mother and daughter walked up to me and asked if I was in line. I said, "No, go ahead." Then the daughter asked me, "Puedo consentirla?" I had no idea what she just said. I had never heard the word consentir, so I went with "Qué pena, no entiendo." To which she doubled down on the previous question and said, "Puedo consentirla?" Which was followed by an awkward moment because I still had no idea what she wanted. Maria thankfully finished inside the store a few seconds later and we left and the mother and daughter went in the store. Maria had heard the interaction and told me the daughter just wanted to pet Maya. So that was news to me because I thought to pet was acariciar, so I learned a new word that day. The The last one, I really did not learn anything, but it was probably the most embarrassing for me because this actually happened not too long ago when Maria and I went to a restaurant to have breakfast. I often struggle with menus. Do you all have any trouble with menus? I know the names of the different foods, I know the names of the ingredients, but a lot of the times restaurants use these fancy words that I have no idea what they are. But that is not where I messed up this time. When the waitress came to take our order, Maria went first, and then it was my turn. I said what I wanted with no problems. Then the waitress asked me, papaya or naranja? To which I replied, see? It's funny how these awkward silent moments seem to last for an eternity. She was looking at me and I was trying to figure out what the heck just happened. Then she asked me again, papaya or naranja? This time I just repeated one of the things and said naranja. I found out later that what I had ordered came with either a jugo de papaya or jugo de naranja, which I somehow missed when I was looking over the menu, so it really caught me off guard when she asked me this question. Maria and I had a nice little laugh about it for probably the rest of the day, so yeah, see. So those are some of my Spanish mess ups I've had here in Colombia so far. There are for sure going to be many, many, many more. What about you all? Do you have any stories about how you mess up saying something in Spanish? Have you ever run into one of those awkward moments because of something you said in Spanish? Let me know in the comments down below. One thing I've come to realize in making these mistakes is there is really nothing to be afraid of. Most native Spanish speakers are not going to make fun of you. They really don't care. The awkward moments are weird and embarrassing, but I mostly have just got a good laugh about it afterwards. I think making mistakes is a big part of learning Spanish, and you really shouldn't worry too much about it, especially if the fear of making them is keeping you from using what you know. Find the courage and the right attitude and go for it. Just know that you're not alone and there is some guy in Colombia somewhere getting weird looks and going through those awkward moments as well. That's it for this video. I hope you liked it. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe and I'll see you in the next video. Ciao. I can't roll my R's today. Let's try it one more time.